Our next speaker is Dr. And Swami Satyanarayan Dasa. The theme of his presentation is distinguishing Sanskrit original terms from their translations.
Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha. So, we have been talking about narratives, and a narrative is made through language. And language is a very powerful tool to change the mindset of human beings. The distinguishing quality of human beings is that they have ability to speak, bhasha, which means that I can convey my thoughts, my ideas through language to you. It's quite a mystical thing if you think of it, and a lot of research and our acharyas have written. There is a very great book called Vakyapadiyam, if somebody is interested, by King Bhartrihari, where he talks about what is Shabda. In fact, he talks about Shabda Brahmavad, that how everything comes from Shabda. So, by twisting the meaning of the words, you can change the whole narrative. And I will speak a little bit about that. Who is controlling the? Okay. Yeah, next. So therefore, role of language, because it is through language we know history, as we spoke about, and history is written by those who are the rulers. Those who are victorious, they write the history. Even the word history is an improper word. The word which we use is called itihasa. And you translate it into history, and the whole thing changes. Because itihasa is not history. Itihasa is itiha-asa, which means that something happened. Iti means like this, ha means happened. And asa means that it is actually explained to educate you. The purpose of history is not just to tell you some facts that 1550 this happened, 1600 this happened, first war of Panipat, second war of Panipat, etc. But to actually teach you what we can learn from it. And this is how narratives can twist things. So it can influence our whole culture, how we say it, socially, emotionally, spiritually. And then things of values they are passed down the generations. So next, please. So modification in language can change the narrative of a society. And by preserving language, the traditions and customs are preserved. So it is very important to actually understand this fact, because now we know that we have been fed wrong narratives. This is, at least we have become aware of it, we have been awakened to it. Previously we did not know. When I was in school, I did not know all these things. It is now that I realize that how so many false things were taught to us. So now we have to wake up, but we have to do something. And one of the very important thing is that actually I will not go through the slides because time is so limited. And we have a tradition of sutra and then bhasyas and the sutras. So I'll speak in very simple things. For example, we have samskaras. And our Soniji, he spoke about dharma, artha, kama and moksha. But you translate artha into economy, translate dharma into religion, and kama, we don't even know how you translate it. Most people don't know what kama really means. Most people think kama means maybe sex. No, it does not mean that. So all these things are actually related to the ultimate goal of life. Artha is not just economy. As soon as you make it economy, then it becomes what we know now. So dharmasya hi apurgasya nartho artha kalpate. नार्थस्य धर्मे कांतस्य कामो लाभा ही स्मृते कामस्य न इंद्रिय प्रीति यावत जीवे यावत लाभो जीवेत यावता जीवस्य तत्व जिज्ञासा नार्थो यस्य कर्म भी. So very beautifully in Srimad Bhagavatam it is described what is the purpose of dharma, what is the purpose of artha, what is the purpose of kama, and then ultimately the very purpose of life. And this is how our whole Indian Bharatiya culture was designed by our sages, so that you could live peacefully, happily in this life and afterlife. So one of the very beautiful definition of dharma is given by the Bhasyakara of Vaisheshik Sutra. Yato abhyudhya nishreyasa tata dharma, sadharma. That dharma is that by which you get abhyudaya and nishreyasa, by which you get prosperity in this life and moksha after this life. And this is actually the essence of our Bharatiya Sanskriti. This is the sutra. Everything was designed for that. Even this dance, art, music, whatever now we think that Sanskriti means just dancing. No, everything was related with the ultimate goal of life, which was Nishreyasa. But as you translate these words into English, if you translate into Indian languages, they are coming from Sanskrit only. So its original meaning is contained, retained. But you translate it into European languages, the whole meaning is lost. So artha does not mean economy. Artha is actually dharma artha tato dhanam. The basic principle, even Krishna has given this in Bhagavad Gita, that actually artha comes from dharma. But dharma is not meant for artha, that is the beauty. Dharmasya hi apvargasya. Dharma is meant for apvarga, nishreyasa, moksha. But no one will think like this once you translate the word artha into the word economy or money or wealth. So that is the beauty of Indian Bharatiya Sanskriti, that we had both. Otherwise, why these people came attacking here? Why Bharat was called Sone ki Chidiya, the golden bird? Because we had the material prosperity and we had something which no one else had. We had what they had, more than that, plus we had something which was not available anywhere. And that's why what Dr. Ranganathanji said, that Prime Minister of Thailand said that without Hinduism there cannot be peace, because nobody knows the peace formula. Sri Krishna has given the peace formula in Bhagavad Gita, that gyatva mam shantim richati, that if you know me, then you can attain peace. Because unless you know the ultimate thing, this whole Vishwa is called universe, even in English, and uni means one. So unless we consider this, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, there cannot be peace. But now this is how the narrative is misused. Now you hear this word so many times, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and this is to make the Hindus damn fool. Yes, Hindus are very tolerant. Hindus are very peaceful. So then I can plunder you and you tolerate it. No, Hindus are not like that. Krishna was not tolerant like that. He had conch also in his hand, but he also had the Sudarshan Chakra. We are tolerant if you are a dharmic person. But if you are a dharmic person, then that's why Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. And we Hindus have forgotten that. Why India came under the foreign rule? Because with adharmic people, we are trying to apply dharma. This was the stupidity of our kings. And we are still continuing this stupidity. With adharmic people, we cannot apply dharma. In Mahabharata, Sri Krishna, by plan, he got killed Bhishma, Dronacharya, Karna, Duryodhana, everybody by adharma. And this is only to put this sense in our head, who have DNA in our genes, that you should know that dharma has its place, but supporting an adharmic person is also adharma. Killing an adharmic person is not adharma. This is what Krishna taught us. And if we do not know this, and we forget this whole idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and ekam sadvipra bahudha vadanti. They don't understand this. This is our inside story. This we can talk with our own people, but with them, don't think like that. You have to know their mindset. This narrative is being made, there is a big plan behind it, so much money is being spent. Recently, I was talking with a professor from a very famous university in America, and because of this Israel war, and I said, look, so much of atrocities were done on Hindus. You know what he said? And he was arguing with me. He says, no, there is nothing like this. Hindus became Muslim because of the Sufis. He was serious. He was quoting. He said, I will contact another professor and give you the proof. And then I sent some videos to him. Then what he says is that, but actually Hindus also did so many atrocities to the Sudras. You see what is the comparison? So this is the narrative which has been fed. He is a professor in the Department of Religion. But this is what they believe. Why do they believe it? Because they have been fed like that. He's not doing it because he has something against Hinduism. And then when I was speaking, the next thing he said, oh, this is Hindu fundamentalism. So these are the words, Hindutva. So one thing which he said about Pramana Shastra, actually recently now my classes I'm teaching Nyaya Sutras of Gautama Rishi, I tell you we should all read. Somebody says Hindutva, you immediately ask him question, what do you mean by Hindutva? He won't be able to answer you. Time up, thank you. So, Twa pratyay is applied when something has a quality, like cow, cowness, go, gotva, manushya, manushyatva, Hindu, hindutva. If I'm a Hindu, I have to have Hindutva or not? But then Hindutva is now being used as if I am some biased person, I am atrocious, in a negative sense. Hindu rightist, what is Hindu fundamentalism? So we should learn, this is the poison pill I wanted to say, that we should learn to have these poison pills. That first of all, start using Sanskrit terms. I have written a book along with Rajiv Malhotra, probably you know, Sanskrit non-translatables. And we should learn that Atma, you use the word Atma translated to soul, the meaning is lost. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna uses maybe at least 10 times the word Atma in different meaning. Atmaivi Atmano Bandhu, Atmaya Rupur Atmana, Atma Atmanastasva, Bandhu Atma Atmanastasya, Yenaiva Atmana Atmana Jita, Anatmanastu Satrutva, Vartaya Atmaiva Satruvat. In 3 slokas, 12 times he uses the word Atma, but in different meanings. But to translate it into English, there is no way that the meaning is captured. So I will not take more time, but please stick to the Sanskrit words, learn Sanskrit, encourage your children to learn Sanskrit. It is very important, and fight for Hindutva.